Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Dwell and Tiger podcast. It's me, Joey, and I am recovering from a marathon run that I did on Christmas Day, which was around like 3 days ago. Yeah, so I'm recording this on Monday, to which I will be uploading tomorrow, Tuesday, the day you're maybe listening to this too. Yeah, last minute, I know I'm procrastinating. But I have a good reason, and that is because I have just been in extreme is probably putting it too much. I've just been in just a lot of discomfort because of the marathon run I did. Reason why I did it, it's simple. On Friday, I was going to go out for a walk. It started to rain, or it was just like really wet outside. So I was like, what can I do instead? Like, I don't want to just walk on the treadmill because it's better to walk outside. And I was like, maybe I'll just run the marathon. Why not? And so I started to think, okay, what can I do to juice things up? Because on Thanksgiving Day, I ran 23 miles just to make it special, I guess. Because again, like my family, nor do I myself celebrate the holidays at all, really. And I wanted to make Thanksgiving a special day, so I did 23 miles, where for every 1 mile, I recorded myself stating something I was grateful for and the reason why. So I didn't want to do that. It's super cheesy. I just thought it was too much work and kind of annoying when I did it on Thanksgiving Day. So for Christmas, something more simple. I switched out my running shoes for every 3 miles, where I have like around 12 to 13 pairs of running shoes, believe it or not. I mean, it's a lot. Maybe it's not a lot to some people. Maybe they have like 20, like just by the dozens, of running shoes in their garage, in their storage, their pain cave. So yeah, I have a lot of running shoes that I want to give some love, just give them some good action. And that was a dumb idea, because the running shoes I have are all very different from one another. I mean, like, if you're someone who knows running shoes and athletic gear, I mean, my running shoes had like just varying heel drop ratios, just the amount of cushioning, different kind of shoes. Like, ones was for a speed workout, so it's super flexible. We have another shoe that's more, well, it's a daily trainer, so it's not that bad. I was even running in my trail running shoes. But anyways, yeah, that was not a good idea to do that. But I did it nonetheless. I have it in the books, and I paid it with my legs and tight hammies and glutes and hips. Yes. Actually, the biggest thing that has been bothering me thus far is that almost every night, at least the first 2 nights, I just could not sleep well. Like, I would try to sleep around like 10 p.m. or 12 a.m., but I can't sleep for like an hour or two. I'm just in bed trying to find a comfortable position, trying to stretch out my hips and all my muscles in my legs so I can feel comfortable and relaxed. But then, like, for some odd reason, like, I feel like time passes by so fast, and then I check my phone and it's like 4 a.m. So it's like 3 to 4 hours passed by, and I'm like, what happened? I thought it was just 12 or 1 a.m. And I was just stretching myself out, just trying to find a comfortable position. But then I was thinking like, oh wait, no, I think I just woke up. So I think I've been having these bizarre dreams where I'm literally in my bed trying to find a comfortable sleeping position and stretching my legs. I'm like, this is so bizarre. Like, I couldn't discern what's real and what was, my dream. Yeah, that's been happening with me. That's not worthy enough to just really delve into, I guess. Just let's get into the main episode. But if you do want to see that Christmas marathon run I did, go to my Instagram. I have like a short, like a 5-minute silly video that I made. So yeah, go check it out. Instagram, the Joey LL. Now onto the episode today. So it's not going to be a serious one. It's not going to be something super reflective or introspective, and nothing like that really. I guess introspective in a way, but we're going to allow an online means to allow us to become more introspective. That was probably a weird way to say it. What I mean is, I'm going to be taking a personality test, the Myers-Briggs personality test, and It's the one where you have those like ENFJ, INFT, whatever, those 4-letter codes. I really don't know what they're about. I still don't understand all the individual letters and what they represent. So we'll be doing that today because it's the end of the year. And I took this once a long time ago when I was a very timid, shy, reserved, quiet Asian kid, half Asian kid, in college, like freshman, sophomore year. Just like super shy, just super antisocial as well. Not because I was cynical, but just because I was shy. But now I've grown a lot, I believe. It's the end of the year, the 2020 year, COVID times, and I want to take this test again just to say, hey, maybe I changed. Maybe I think I remember I was an I. That's the only thing I remember. I was an I, the introvert. Maybe I became an extrovert. Well, I doubt that. I did not become an extrovert. I know that's the one thing that will remain for the rest of my life. But let's take this personality test today, and I'll go through each of the questions. Maybe I'll skip some, like just won't really talk about it in depth, because it's a lot of questions from what I remember. So I'll be taking this test, going through more in depth about the statements that reach out to me. And yeah, let's get into this. And sorry if you do hear the clicking, if that's annoying. It's just like my mouse. Actually, I'll use my mouse pad. That's better. Yeah, you guys won't hear all the click, 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 click. But anyways, let's get into this. So first question. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people? Kinda, not really. No, not really. Yeah, because I'm just more of an introvert. Like, I enjoy doing things by myself, and I'm very like shy and just awkward when I'm like in a very social event. I've had stories, or moments or situations where I was dragged out to a party before, forcefully, but not in a bad way. And I was just so uncomfortable being in this environment, and I was just standing out of everyone's line of sight and just tried to not be noticeable. And I just stood there, I think on my phone, and just waited till my friend was ready to go home, and then we went back to our apartment in college. So yes, I'm not fond of those too much, but I do enjoy them sometimes depending on what the event is. So second question, you often spend exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. Yes, I love the bizarre. I love going into more kind of like sci-fi-ish, but also like very ambitious thoughts. I think they're just fun to think about, because I think nothing is impossible. Nothing is truly impossible unless you try it, right? Within bounds. So yeah. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, I'm going to put that as like kind of true, because I do like to have more detailed plans, and especially with like times, because I want to fit in a lot of things within a day, and I want to make sure I do all those things. So by doing that, I have to be as detailed as possible. But a lot of times I'd like to just go with the flow. Moving on, you often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place. Yes, yeah, totally agree, 100%, because I often reflect on things I said and think about what I could have said. If I said, in a different way, would the conversation be steered in another direction? I always ponder about the possibilities. Moving on, if your question is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. 100% yes. One thing I understand when you're trying to help someone, like a friend in this case, is you're just trying to emotionally support them. You're not trying to be their problem solver, because people just want to vent, right? Express themselves, open up. And I feel like I would just need to be there, and I want to be there just for them to open up and vent, because I feel like that's what's really helpful in the beginning, just to vent it out, and then you guys can talk it out if they have the capacity and are wanting to. So next question, people can rarely upset you. Well, these are not questions. I don't know why I keep saying that. So next statement, I guess. People can rarely upset you. 100% yes. Yeah, just my upbringing. I'm a very understanding guy. I can understand things from different angles and perspectives and the likelihoods, not just any unreasonable or just unlikely possibilities. I try to understand what is within reason. Let's see, moving on. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. Very, very little kinda. Very not so much kinda, because at this point in my life, I've grown to the point where I am able to start conversations, hold a conversation. But depending on the person, I can really muck it up and become awkward a little bit in a good way. So kind of like with a date, that's where things can be a little shaky. So that's why it's a kind of disagree. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. Yeah, not 100%, because it depends on what that thing is that I need to get back on track for, but I'll get to it eventually. So I do agree. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. And I'm going to put it as the middle, like I disagree, but not strongly disagree, or kinda, because yeah, I have low self-esteem and I really do want to make a good impression on people, just to make myself seem, whether it's more friendly, more open, more welcoming and such. So I do worry about that kind of stuff. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. Nope. Totally strongly disagree, because I have been lonely and alone before so much throughout my college career. So I know how to keep myself occupied. I know how to keep it fun by myself. I mean, I've gone on these mini vacations just by myself as well. So I definitely know how to live it up by myself. So totally not a problem. You are more of a detail-oriented than a big picture person. I'm very neutral behind it. So yeah, I'm right dab in the middle, because I like to include both the big picture and all the details involved. I think you need to have the big picture because you need to just keep in mind of what the details are for, right? It's like if you have all these like smaller parts to build some kind of machine, it's like you first need to know what kind of machine are you building, right? That's the big picture. And then you can utilize and appropriately place these machine parts in the right order, in the right place, so that you can make progress, you can be productive. So that's why I'm more neutral, because I value and try to be cognizant of both aspects, the details and the big picture. Next one, you are very affectionate with people you care about. I am, even though I don't show it. Like, I can't, if I say I love you or cute, well, okay, besides the more complimentary stuff like cute, beautiful, like I feel cringy, I feel weird saying it. But even if I say I love you, it's like, ugh, I don't know why it feels weird to say it, but internally I feel like, oh, I will do anything for this person. Like, oh, you need this $200 iPad or this $600 iPad? No problem. We'll go to Best Buy real quick right here, right now. I'll go on my bike. What do you need? Tell me. Oh, I'll get you this super nice fancy case. Yeah. I especially do this with my mom a lot. Like, I'll spoil her with these really nice purses, jackets, techie stuff. So yeah, I like to show affection in different ways with the people I care about, truly. So ladies out there, I'll take care of you. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding that I won't take care of you, but yeah, I'm not trying to put myself out there on this podcast. Next one, you have a careful and methodical approach to life. Yes, I do. If you know me, you've talked to me before, I am very objective oriented. I am very methodical. I like to think things out carefully and in a way try and like curate or just make up a blueprint so that I can do things or proceed with caution, carefully, but also being efficient at the same time, right? If you just go at it, I just believe if you just go at it without a plan, then you won't make as much progress, things won't be as efficient, and there'll be you'll be more prone to errors, whatever it is that you're proceeding to. Next one, you are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. That is 100% true. Yeah, this kind of goes with my morals and my upbringing. I just really value people's life, because my parents, they're old and they sacrifice a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate when they watch their parents growing up. So when you see the sacrifices other people make and you want them, and you know that they should have a better life, that let's say they should be like, relaxing on a beach in Hawaii or something like that, you want them to just live the best of their lives without any stress and without working too much. So in that sense, if I'm someone who actually just affects their life in a negative way, dang, I feel like a D-bag. So that's why I totally agree with this statement where I'm still bothered by mistakes, mainly when it's affecting someone else. If it just affects me, screws me over, I'm not too bothered by it, because I'm the only one who's getting hurt for the most part, so that's fine with me. But yeah, I mean, not really, right? But still, like, I'm bothered if I made a mistake that affected someone else. So yes, 100% agree, strongly agree. Next one, at parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. This seems like it's very similar to the first statement about me liking social events and whatever. Yeah, I'll say kinda disagree. Oh wait, no, kinda agree. no, yeah, because yeah, I'm not really too fond of parties. Yeah, parties especially. Actually, I'm gonna put agree. Not kinda, I'll put agree, because yeah, I just don't really care for them all too much. But again, it depends on, the occasion and such for me. Next one, you often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. No, totally 100% disagree. So even if I have this like objective, methodical approach to life in general, in like all aspects, pretty much, I am still able to understand people's emotions, in my opinion. Like, I can very much dig deep into why they may be feeling some way or another, and because of that, I can try to relate to them by thinking of an event that makes me feel the same way that the other person is feeling. So overall, like, I can try to sympathize, if not empathize, with that person. So yeah, I totally disagree that I don't really find it all too difficult. I mean, it requires work, right? It's a little bit of work to it, but not entirely difficult. Next one, when you're looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog, and I have to strongly agree. I am very picky when it comes to movies. And it's not like I'm a movie person anyway, but I just really want to find a good movie. I want to find it captivating. I want to find it thrilling, emotional, all the shebang. So yes, I am that type of person. Next one, you can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Yeah, I'll agree. I'm not going to strongly agree, because I'm still maybe like freaking out, but I can stay relatively calm in this situation. And again, this is mainly in the context of social situations like a date, or if I'm meeting a group of people for the first time. Like, I can stay calm, I can contribute or participate in the conversation or whatever is happening, but I'll still be freaking out inside. Next one, we're 30% there. Sorry, we're 30% done. Wow, this is gonna be quite a bit. So anyways, when in a group of people, yeah, wait, sorry, I read that weirdly, or I was thinking it weirdly. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Oh, okay, this is what I was just talking about. Do I have no problem? I have to say I kind of disagree. Yeah, because I'm at a point where I can jump into the conversation, but I probably won't say much, but I can still nonetheless do so. That's why I'll say kind of disagree, because I still have some problem with that, just to like really fully immerse and participate. Next one, when you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. I already mentioned it in the beginning of this episode, so 100% yes. I mean, for goodness sake, I was like having a realistic dream. It's just such a vivid dream about stretching in my bed and I woke up in my bed thinking I actually did that stuff. But I've also had like other bizarre dreams. I had a dream where I was stabbed in the neck and I was running away from this lady. It was in this like, I don't know, this weird place. It wasn't like a horror. Yeah, I have so many bizarre dreams that are actually scary. But to me, when I wake up, I'm like, oh, not again. Why did this happen? It's like, it's annoying. So I don't really consider it as a nightmare, but they may be categorized as nightmares. But to me, they're just so common at this point where it's like, oh my God, here we go again. It's another annoying dream. Maybe I should go see a doctor. Maybe I should look into that. Next one, in your opinion, is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life? No. Fuck no. Sorry, excuse my language. Heck no. 100% disagree. There are definitely ways to get around it. Like maybe it'll require some work. Anyways, yeah, it's no, just no. Yeah, that's all I have to say. 100% no. It's not okay in my opinion. Next one. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. Yes. Once I'm fixated on something, I will just stay fixated, and I'll go through the pain, the suffering, the time, the energy. I'll do it all. It's just part of my discipline. That's one thing I'm actually proud of, and I don't boast about it, but I am proud of it. My discipline has gotten me through a lot of rough patches, where even if I feel, let's say, depressed, just lonely, down, like just not wanting to do anything at all, it's gotten me to just get out of bed or just do the stuff that I need to do, like with, let's say, training or academics especially. Next one, if you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Yeah, I have to agree, or kind of agree. See, if that was my past me, like maybe 3 years ago, Joey, I probably would have said 100% agree or maybe just agree. But I'm now kind of agree, right? We're making incremental progress. So yeah, I feel like if I make a mistake, it's like, oh wait, I'm not as good as I thought I probably was. Like I thought I wasn't gonna make a mistake, but because this mistake showed that I'm not as adept at whatever I did, maybe I have to rethink this. But I don't take it as like, I'm not harshly criticizing myself. It's just more like constructive criticism, but towards myself, so that I can grow from my mistakes, right? So it's not bad if you doubt yourself. It's just, I feel like a better way to say it is you start to rethink about your abilities, right? That's a better way of saying it. Next one, when at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. Yes, agree. I'm gonna say 100% agree. I am still very awkward. Like when I think about just a pure social event, I'm like, oh, where are the people I know? Like, ooh, what do I do if I don't know anyone? Like, I start freaking out. Like my hands are actually getting sweaty right now just thinking about that. I'm like, oh, like what do I do? Like I don't want to be on my phone just thinking like I'm some kind of antisocial person. Oh man, yeah, it makes my hands sweat. But yes, I will try to talk to people I already know instead of introducing myself. All right, 40% done. Moving on. You usually lose interest in the discussion when it gets philosophical. No, I'll say agree. I won't say totally. Wait, you usually lose interest. Oh, wait, no, disagree. Sorry, I'm like reading these wrong or something. I'll say just disagree. Not strongly, not kind of disagree, just in the middle, because it depends, right? If I can see that this person's becoming super woo-woo and like no logic and just, was it order is no longer being used in this person's arguments or, argumented points or whatever they're trying to talk about. It's like, dude, okay, might as well talk about fairy tales and, the imaginary crap we can think of right at this second. It's because it's just, there's no context or there's no order, there's no format, right? If we can talk about philosophical stuff, with a proper format, then hey, let's talk about it. I'm interested in that kind of stuff. But yeah, you would never let yourself cry in front of others. Yes, totally. No, I'll say agree. Again, it depends, situational. But I say agree because I don't want to show. It's just that it's not that I'm not trying to be vulnerable with other people, but I just don't want them to feel bad, right? It's kind of like it's like if you're in a sports team and one person starts to feel like really like just defeated, everyone else will start to feel defeated, right? Even if that team is losing badly in whatever sport they're playing. Just I feel like it's just good to keep a strong, positive mentality, an attitude overall, so that other people can feel the same positive vibe coming off of you. So if I don't cry in front of others, if I stay positive overall, then I feel like people will just respond positively as well. And even if I want to cry my eyes out, I will not let myself do so. But there have been cases where if I just talk to a friend one by one, one-to-one or whatever, it has happened before, depending on the topic. So I'm not totally just, I'm not, it's not like I never want to do it or I just really try hard not to do it. But I will allow myself depending on the situation. Next one, you feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. Heck no. I will say this, no, just disagree because like, let's say on vacations or like once in a while, it feels kind of refreshing to go somewhere that's really busy, bustling, right? Let's say like New York City or just a city in general. But overall, I just like a quiet place. I like more peace, right? UC Davis, the college I went to, was that in of itself. It was a quiet college town. It was very peaceful, nothing bustling, very suburbia kind of world. And I would not have liked if I'd gone to another UC that I was accepted to. Like, I was accepted to UCLA, and I was really heavily deciding between that and UC Davis. So I was like, oh man, like UCLA, the LA life, the city life. I'm now glad I did not go there because I experienced the city life through my friends, in Berkeley, because my friend goes to UC Berkeley, and I just did not like it at all. So I'm glad I chose UC Davis, and that to me that made me realize, oh wait, environment and location is actually very important for me. So yes, I do prefer quiet and intimate ones, but occasionally, it's kind of refreshing. It's kind of exciting to go to those bustling, busy places. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. Yes, 100% agree. Overall, it's fun to entertain those kind of thoughts, right? It's like those sci-fi thoughts, like, ooh, what if people could, what if there's only one religion in the world, right? Ooh, what would happen then? What would happen if, let's say, North Korea became a super powerful and big country or nation? Ooh, what would happen then? It's just fun to ponder those kind of ideas. Next one. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. I am going to say no, kind of disagree. I say kind of because it's like this. 60% of what I'm thinking or what I'm listening to is my head, because I'm trying to make more logical, more sound arguments with myself, and then the 40% is based off what I feel, right? So it's like saying like, oh, okay, if I know, listening to my head, that this decision that I'm about to make is going to be good for my career, good for my life overall, but it's a lot of work and I feel, let's say like maybe it's not 100% fulfilling, I know that this is going to be a good step in my life, so I just need to get through this step so that I can move on doing the things I want to do later in my life, if that makes sense. So I do listen to my head more so. I just like to, again, approach things more methodically, more carefully, with logic, reason, more objectively and such. That's just my way of thinking overall. But I do listen to my heart, what it feels, what it says. All right, you can imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something you cannot... let me finish it. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. That's kind of vague, but I'm going to totally disagree because I'm going into research. Like, I'm interested in aging and cancer biology research, where we're dealing with like cells, small molecules, things like that. So, I mean, you can't really see it. So, I mean, yeah, that's my whole life. So 100%. I wish there was like a 1000% disagree. Yeah, that's going to be my career. That would be a problem if I said, if I agreed. Next one. Oh, by the way, we're 50% there. Halfway there. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. That's stupid. Yeah, sorry. No, I mean, it may not be stupid for some people. Like, to each their own, right? I'm not judging. So, but for me personally, I 100% disagree. I mean, I just don't see any real like value in getting revenge. Like, I can see a point in getting revenge. I can understand it, but just the value in of itself, it's like, it's not really there. It's just selfish acts for yourself just to feel fulfilled in one way or another. But yeah, I'd rather forgive, or if anything, I'd rather just understand and just like forget about that person if they really did me wrong. But I'm more willing to forgive than to get revenge. So that's why I say 100% disagree. Next one, you often make decisions on a whim. Yeah, I mean, dude, this Christmas marathon run I did on Friday, yeah, totally off of a whim. Just because I couldn't go walk outside. I couldn't do my 10 to 15,000 steps a day. So I was like, yeah, why not do a marathon? Why not? Who cares? Yeah, so I do things sometimes off of a whim. Because I'm just so compelled by a feeling. I'm like, ooh, I really want to do this, but I don't know if I should. But then I often just do it anyway. All right, moving on to the next one. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. Let me reiterate. The time you spend by yourself often ends up. Oh man, that's weird. I'll have to agree with that. Because I like to just do a lot more of self-exploration anyway. And I feel like when I'm with other people, I'm not able to do that. At least there's parameters, right? With how much self-exploration or exploration in general I could do. Just diving into a topic or going out, actually exploring physically, whatever the case may be. I just think if I'm by myself, I have a lot more freedom and leeway to do things in whatever way I want to do it, right? It's the same with everyone else, I think. So I'm not really too influenced by people to make things interesting, where being with people would make something interesting. But I say agree because when I'm with people, interesting stuff can happen, right? Especially in the college scene. Interesting stuff can happen. So that's why I say agree. But for the most part, being by myself, spending time by myself, I can find things to be more interesting. Anyways, moving on. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message of a song or movie. I agree. It goes along with my objective mindset. Like, I just think, okay, what's the objective of this song? Like, okay, this song is about, let's say it's called, Devil in My Heart. It's like, okay, what's the objective of the song? Oh, this person may be talking about some kind of trauma in their life, in their upbringing. So it's like, I will start breaking it down and thinking of, okay, what is the message in this song? Or what's the message of the movie? So, yeah. I don't know if that's good. Like, to me, I can understand that's totally unnecessary. Like, I should just listen to the song or watch the movie. Just enjoy it. I don't need to think about it. But that's just how my mind works again. The objective mindset. Next one. You always know exactly what you want. I do not. I disagree. Again, I don't. It's not a strong disagreement, but I am just disagreeing because I often don't know what I want, because I'll start overthinking a lot. Yeah. Next one. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. Ooh, wow, this is a deeper one. I disagree. It's not a strong disagreement, but I do think about it quite a bit because, yeah, it's again. There was a similar statement to this. I forgot what it was exactly, but I often think about, especially with, it's the one with mistakes, I believe. Like, I would think about the choices I made that affected people, whether it would be in the positive, but definitely more so in a negative way. Like, if I made a choice that affected someone not in a good way, to some degree, whether it's lesser or greater, I just heavily think back like, oh, what could I have done differently? What was the mindset going into this, decision making in the choices that I made? How can I reflect and introspect on those decisions? What was the thought process behind it? I'll just really go into it. So I do that because I feel like it's part of growth, where if you do reflect back on the choices you made, at least, it depends on what that choice was pretty much as well. It shows growth, self-growth. Definitely, it just shows that you're reflecting on your life, and who knows, you may learn something from it, you may grow from it, or not. Maybe you reaffirm of the type of person you already are. But yeah, going on to the next one, 60% done, by the way. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded. We get these questions or these statements a lot. Like, yeah, I would rather be in a quieter place. Thank you very much. So yes, I agree. Not starting to agree. Again, it's not a strong disagreement, because sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe a bustling, busy place would be refreshing and exciting. And I do feel like being in that kind of place at times. So moving on from yet another like redundant statement, in my opinion, you tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. Neutral, right dab in the middle. I am always trying to be present in what's happening around me, what's presented to me, what I can do right now, but also with the consideration of the future possibilities. Because it's like, you can't just have one or the other. And of course, some people are just going to, stick with one or the other. Hence the reason for this statement to be here on this test. But I'm just right down in the middle. I value each other both very strongly. And, maybe I'm rethinking this. No, I'm right down in the middle. I was rethinking it that maybe I do focus on the future more so. Yeah, let me actually change that. I do. I was going to say I'm stupid, but yeah, I'm stupid. I don't know why I was thinking that. It's not clear cut. It's not black and white. I do think about the future more so. So, right, you tend to focus on the present. Yeah, so kind of disagree. I focus on the future a little bit more so. Next question. You have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. No, again, this is like a redundant statement. This goes again with the emotional, like understanding or having difficulty relating to people who are who let their emotions guide them. Yeah, that's like kind of the same statement. But yeah, I don't have a hard time understanding people's feelings. So 100% disagree. Again, I like to believe I'm very understanding. Like I can sympathize and empathize by thinking back to my own experiences and whatnot, or just come up with, or just imagine what would make me feel the same way as this person. Right? Yeah, so that was a redundant statement in my opinion. Next one, when starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions upfront as possible. No, yeah, I disagree. I like to take things one by one. Like I'll list, like here's what I would do usually. If I, let's say, am giving a project for a research project, right, for science, I'll put out a list of decisions and stuff we would need to do or we may need to think about, but I'm not going to make any decisions right there and then, right? I'll just put out all of the possibilities, all of the decisions, all of the things we need to think about. And then as a collective or just by myself even, I'll think about what do I need to prioritize first, what kind of decisions, what do I need to make first. So I need to think about it first and then I'll make a decision. So yeah, I'll say, yeah, 100% disagree actually. Yeah, 100% disagree. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. That's weird. It's not weird. I'll say no. Yeah, I'll say strongly disagree. I don't really think that. I try to, the way I think about this statement is that I have a hard time receiving and believing in the compliments that people give me in myself. Like if someone told me like, hey Joe, you're a really fast runner. Like I have a hard time believing that for myself. But what I would do is, oh, I know and trust that you're being genuine and that they honestly believe it. So I would try to trust their word for what they're saying. But with that said, it's not like I'm also thinking like, oh, this person's going to become disappointed in me later. Like I have to become a good runner. It's not like that. Not at least for me. Next one, you feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. 100% disagree. I'm a shy guy. I'm very awkward in a good way, right? I just have to say that in a good way. I tried doing this once actually, back in senior year of college, where it was my last quarter, I believe, and it was the last quarter. It was my spring quarter, and it was finals week. I saw this girl working at the on-campus coffee shop, and I thought she was really cute. Like something about her smile was just, and her just whole vibe was like, wow, like I want to talk to her. I want to get to know her. So I spent 30 minutes just going back and forth in the same lobby, just trying to look nonchalant and just normal. And after 30 minutes or so, and I was like trying to like go to my final for that day. I went up to her and said like, oh, hey, I forgot what I said exactly, but pretty much I said like, oh, do you want to go to downtown sometime with me? Like I would like to get to know you more so and whatever. And she said yes. But it was so nerve-wracking. Oh my God. But yeah, that was so hard for me to do. And I said to myself, like, I cannot do this again. Like all my confidence is gone for the next 10 years. But yeah, it's super hard for me to do that just because of the fact that they're interesting. If it's for like business reasons or for something professional like careers or academics, then I won't have any problems really, because I have an objective. Next one, you often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. Yeah, I like to think I'm a visionary. I like to just envision things. Sometimes one thing I would envision that helps me with my career goals and the motivation and the drive I have to work hard is to envision myself like way into the future, where maybe I receive some kind of Nobel Prize. Or, because I'm wanting to go into aging and cancer, cancer research, I think, okay, what if I develop some kind of therapeutic for cancer? Like it helps cures, or like, it just really helps cures it. Just something just really out of this world, like a cure for cancer. I'll envision myself giving a speech. I'll just daydream about that, and daydream like, by that time I probably know that my parents will be passed away, or my mom, because my dad's already gone. My mom's, she's elderly right now, and I know probably at the time let's just say I develop a cancer, cure for cancer. I know she'll probably be gone at that point, and then I imagine myself again, like daydream, like, oh, I'll visit my parents' graves, and I'll tell them about all the stuff I've done so far. And that, hey, like I made a cure for cancer, and I just want to let you guys know that. Yeah, so I daydream a lot about that stuff. And it makes me teary-eyed sometimes, even right now. But yeah, I do daydream a lot. And I feel like if anyone is having a hard time with motivation, or just keeping up with things they should be doing, like I already talked about this last week's episode, right? Just keeping up with the things you should be doing that you should be doing. Like one way that helps a lot is just daydream. Envision yourself like years into the future, decades into the future, where you're successful. Envision yourself. You are a successful person in this field that you're pursuing. Maybe it's in athletics, right? Maybe you envision yourself being the first one in place on the top of the podium after doing this race. Maybe you're a doctor, right? You're saving lives, and then maybe you're a surgeon who developed a new suturing technique. Who knows? Like envision yourself, and then envision yourself giving a compassionate, very just heartwarming speech. And I feel like when you do that, it helps you reaffirm strongly, because you're associating strong emotions to it. It makes you reaffirm the goals you are wanting to achieve. It makes you reaffirm like, oh wait, I know this is what I want to do. So yeah, I do that a lot just to help with my own goals and my own, just life priorities and careers and such. So yeah. Next one. You look after yourself first and others come second. I disagree. Not starting to disagree, but I do disagree because I often focus and tend to others before I tend to myself. But I always try to keep myself in check to see like, okay, am I eating? Did I drink enough water? Oh, if I didn't, let me go do that real quick. And then I'll go back to, taking care of this person. But yeah, I'm very much I feel like I'm more of a servant than a leader, I guess, in a way. I don't know how to say it. I know there's another term called servant leader, something like that. But that's, I'd like to take care of people. I like to make sure people are okay, that they're doing well, and that they're overall happy. And because if they're happy, I'm for sure happy. On to the next one. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. No, I disagree. And I'll say I disagree because it's, again, situational. And that's because if I have to go do something else that caught my attention, that wasn't part of my plan, I will give myself the flexibility to go take care of that something else and then come back to this routine that I was on, right? I feel like that's just, you need to have flexibility in your schedule, no matter how just solid, no matter how rigorous it may be. So with that said, I do try to keep things or do things on the dot with whatever routine or schedule I have. But again, I'll give myself that flexibility so I can take care of other things, and that I'm not just, at that point you become hesitant on some decisions you need to make, or you just become like, it's not good to just chain yourself down, like you personally doing that. That's why I gotta say for that. Next one, your mood can change very quickly. Yeah. How do I say it? Yeah, I'll say kind of agree. Yeah, kind of agree, because I can feel good. I feel like a lot of people can relate. You can feel really happy for a couple hours, but then like something may happen, or a thought may creep its way into your mind, and that thought maybe be something depressing, and then you become sad, and hopefully not depressed, but you get the point. Yeah, that happens with me. So I say kind of agree, but my mood doesn't really change all too much or spontaneously. Next one, you often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Do I do that? No, not really. Human existence? No, I'll say strongly agree, but the reason why is because I think about something else. Like, I think about the value of human life. I don't really think about it too much because I already know how I think about it. So yeah, never mind. I don't really need to go into that. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't contemplate about it. Because it's up to people's interpretations. That's why I believe overall about that. People are, in my opinion, free to put meaning to their life however they want to do so. And that's what I'll say about that. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. I do not. I'll say disagree. Not strong. I put strongly disagree, but I'll put disagree because these days now I'm talking about my feelings with my friends and other people, and even on this podcast. So yeah, just strongly disagree. Or retract, disagree. Yeah, it's something I still need to work on. But yeah, I am getting much better at talking about my feelings and emotions. So we're 80% there. We're almost done. You have got... Sorry, I was reading that wrong again. I don't know what's up with me today. I haven't had coffee. Maybe that's it. So, going back to the statement, you have got detailed education and career development plans stretched several years into the future. Yes, 100%. I like to envision stuff. So, along with the envision, like even if it's just daydreaming, I do like to plan things out at the same time. Like, oh, okay, I know that, let's say, college will take maybe roughly around 4 to 5 years, and I'll give myself that flexibility, right, with that extra year, the 5th year. So 4 to 5 years, and then I know, like, oh, if I want to go to medical school, that'll take maybe around 8 years because of, school, general education, and then the, rotations and the, I forgot what it's called again. just your specialized training and all that. Or if I want to go to graduate school, it'll take maybe 4 to 5 years, and then I'll do my postdoc, and then during that time I'll probably take 10 years or maybe less to gain enough knowledge, skills, expertise, and papers, being co-authored on papers, so that I can become my own PI, have my own lab. Yeah, I like to envision a lot of stuff in the future. And I feel like it can be good, just give some clarity as to like what your path looks like. It can give you some clarity in the grand scheme of things, right? It's not it's not careful, small details, but it can clear a general path for you. Moving on, you could rarely dwell on your regrets. What's up with these redundant statements? All right, yes, I dwell on my regrets. And I'll say yes, I 100% heavily agree. Yeah, I feel guilty about regrets, especially when it involves making people upset or hurting people. And if it's a regret, I mean, my interpretation of the regret is something a lot heavier than what most people would think and take it as. So yeah, I would heavily dwell on those regrets, but to also reflect on those regrets, like, okay, what can I do to make sure I don't have or experience this again? What can I do differently? Like, is this something about my personality? Did I do something about my lifestyle, my work style? What is it? So it's not bad. Again, we're just rethinking about our actions, our past choices, and past situations. But yeah, anyways, I do dwell on the regrets pretty much. Moving on, spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Yeah, I would say 100% agree. Do I say that? I'm trying to think back. Yeah, I'll say agree. It's not because of the people themselves. It's just I'm so used to being by myself for the most part. And I am always attentive to other people. Like, I want to make sure everyone else is happy. I want to make sure everyone else is having a good time. And I want to make sure that no one else is feeling like left out, no one's feeling hurt, or if someone is having a bad day, that, oh, like, hey, you want some time to talk about it, or do you want to vent it to me? Like, I'm here for you. So with that said, it's like putting other people in front of me, and then that could become emotionally fatiguing. Or another way to say it, I learned this phrase, compassion fatigue. I do experience that a lot. So again, it's not about the people. It's just something like I'm doing to myself. It's like self-sabotaging, right? I'm not able to enjoy the moment with these people with high energy, or this, what the statement says, this dynamic atmosphere, because I'm putting people in front of me and I'm experiencing compassion fatigue for the most part. So yeah, 100% agree. Do need a getaway and do feel drained. Next one, you see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. Bright dab. I'm gonna say bright dab in the middle, but I want to say, this is weird. No, visionary definitely. I'm going to say this for the most part. I am a bit more of a visionary because I like to envision, right? All the crazy, all the ambitious ideas that could come into fruition. And then with those crazy ideas, those goals, or whatever, those ambitions that I have envisioned, then I can put on my realist glasses and think about, okay, what can I do to achieve these? What's possible, what's not? What can I do to make those incremental steps towards those crazy ambitions or goals? So yeah, that's what I want to do. And with that said, I am more of a visionary than a realist, but it's not too far away from each other. Like, I'm just a little bit more of a visionary. Next one, you find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you have never have. No, it's not that hard for me. I'll strongly disagree. Wait, I found it easy. Oh, wait, yes, 100% agree. I do find it easy to empathize with someone. I've already explained it already, like maybe 2 or 3 times before. I can envision myself whether it's a made up scenario where I can experience the same feelings as that same person, or just recall my own situations and experiences that had a similar effect to what this person is experiencing. But yeah, next one. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organized and consistent efforts. Let me say. No, it's more, I disagree. I'll say kind of disagree, because I do like to do things more organized and consistently. It's not just a burst of energy. I'm trying to really recall like my time in the lab, during my undergraduate years. So every time I went to my lab, and even to my tutoring job, I always maintain a consistent effort. And maybe to some people, it may seem like a high level of energy that I was exhibiting and putting forth when I was at work. But I was always trying to maintain a more consistent level of energy, whatever that may be. And I tried to keep things organized and in order, right? It's not just like, I don't know, what do they mean by burst of energy? I just imagine someone doing like 10 million things in 10 minutes and then just stopping work. I don't know. But yeah, I like to do things more consistently. So actually, instead of kind of disagree, I'll put agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Ooh, that's hard. Yeah, I have to say that. Yeah, I have to say agree. Because there are a lot of times where I can control my emotions due to my discipline, and I've already talked about that before. But like this past year with the pandemic, yeah, I really let my emotions control me to an extreme point. So yeah, I'll say that there's a balance right there. So that's why I'll put agree in that statement. So after a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. Nope. I just need to go back to my apartment or home and relax. Go watch something, watch a race, whatever, eat. Yeah, I don't need a party. That's just more exhausting. That makes me feel exhausted already. So yeah, exhausting. I say disagree because at times I'll feel like, oh man, I want to go out with my friends. I want to be social. So yeah, it's very situational. For most part, I just want to go back to my cave and dwell in the darkness, whatever I'm doing. And on to the next one. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change your everyday life. Yeah. I think about this more so in the context of health and medicine. So how can technological advance in those two fields, like health and medicine, change my life? And the way I think about it is, okay, how does it affect longevity? Like, can I live to become 200 years old? Like, if I were to become 80 years old, would that be equivalent to my physiological health and age, or my biological age being, let's say, 40 years old? I mean, like, to me, that's life-changing, right? Because usually, let's say your prime, in like a normal person, your prime is like around 30 to 40, 45 years old, somewhere in between there, I think. Your prime, like, let's say physically, like as an athlete. And then, but let's say you can change that to becoming 60 years old. Like, dude, you can, that's crazy. In my opinion, it's so crazy. So I do frequently like envision and just ponder, wow, like what can happen to my body? Like, what can I do more? What could these other athletes, what can these other people do more actually? You know, if the technological advancements in, let's say, health and medicine was so far ahead of the game. Yeah, I do think about that. It's just fun to think about. It's exciting. Yeah, I feel like that's what Elon Musk has, but just on a bizarre, abnormal level. He's just a different creature. So, next one. You always consider let me reread that again. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. Yes, 100%. This goes definitely along with what I've said before. Because I dwell and often think back to choices I've made, especially like mistakes and regrets where it affected someone else, I'm always trying to consider what my words, how I say things, and my actions may affect other people, especially when it affects other people for the most part. If it affects me, I don't really care all too much, or it's just as much. But with others, definitely. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. Yes. Yeah, it just goes along with trust and loyalty, in my opinion. I mean, especially in let's say a workplace. You promised, let's say, a company, like you'll be working for them for a year, but then let's say, like, you change your mind about your career paths, and now it's like, oh, I want to go back to school to pursue this other career path. Like, you can't just drop what you committed to. Like, that's just not right in general. It's not a good act. So don't do that. I think it just goes along with like just having that loyalty, that trust, that other people can hopefully have and see in you. Now, going on to the next one, you rarely feel insecure. Past me would be like, I always feel insecure, buddy. But instead, I'll say, I'll feel kinda disagree. Because I do feel a tad bit insecure, like low levels of insecurity in a lot of days. It's not as much, because at this point I do believe or have like eliminated some of the self-deprecating thoughts I've held and believed truly in the past before. Like, let's say about my image, just, oh, I'm not a good looking guy. I always think that I was undateable for the most part. Just no girl would ever have a crush on me or whatever. But that was proven wrong indefinitely. So just in regards to other things, like let's say with athletics, I still feel insecure. I just don't feel like I'm an athlete in its truest sense, whatever that means. I still don't know what that really means. But when I see like other people especially on the triathlon team I was a part of, UC Davis, I just felt like everyone was an athlete. It didn't matter like what their skill level or their athletic ability was. Just if I saw them putting in the work, them enjoying the process, the training. Not that I didn't have that same feelings as well, but for some reason, when I look at them, it's like, wow, like these people are like really living it up. They're really supporting one another, and yeah, it's just these are athletes. But I don't know if I'm an athlete. And it never mattered like if someone said like if I'm a super fast guy, if I'm just one, let's say the top runners, whatever it may be, like receiving some kind of compliment, essentially some kind of high praise. Like it didn't matter if I received those. I just never thought of myself as an athlete. And when I think about it more, I think it has to do with the whole team mentality. And so because of that, like when I see my other teammates socializing and we're just really talking with one another, whereas like I was just still that shy guy and I didn't socialize much just because I was shy. Like I wanted to talk to them, I wanted to be like really friendly with them, but I was just too shy. And because of that, I feel like, oh well, I'm not an athlete because I feel like I'm by myself. And I feel like an athlete is always a part of a team. What makes an athlete is that they have a supportive team. And it's not that I didn't have a supportive team, but I felt like, oh, like I don't feel as close to them. Like I'm not socializing. So with that, yeah, I still have insecurities, especially in athletics. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that or why I'm stuttering, but yeah. But it's not as bad as before. Like at this point with any kind of insecurities I have, it's not affecting me in my life all too much or with my line of thought all too much. It's just like a lingering like thoughts I have in the back of my mind. Oh, that's it. Cool. All right, so we're tabulating the results. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, it just said lost internet connection. Wait. Hold up. No, I did not spend this entire episode just to not find out. I mean, I'm glad I talked about each of these statements at to some length. It's kind of like spilling the tea on myself a little bit, just getting to just allowing you guys to get to know me, and that if I ever listen back to this episode for myself, I get to know myself from this this point in time. But yeah, I don't know what happened with the internet. This is crazy. This is stupid. Oh my god, what is going on? Yeah, I'm sorry, people. And I'm just trying to fill up the time right now. I'm just waiting for my computer to resolve this situation. But yeah, I mean, like, that was a lot of questions. That was a lot of statements. A lot of them were redundant in my opinion. But this personality test. Like, I used to think that this personality test was just stupid. Like, why are people doing this? Finding out, like, oh, I am an EFNJTQYZATZ. It's like, what's the point? Like, you have some general sense of who you are. Like, why take a test? Like, why let a test like dictate who you are? That was the type of person I was. Why are you letting a test figure this out for yourself? Like, you should just do it by yourself. Just reflect. Just introspect, right? But sometimes, like I mentioned in episode 3, whenever we're in our own situation and whenever we're trying to think for ourselves, then we can often just we often just have a narrow point of view, a narrow perspective on ourselves. So it opens our eyes up a little bit more so when we take these tests, right? Because it's talking from an outside perspective, right? This test is an outsider, and it's allowing us to see other variables of our life, of our personalities, of our identity that we may have not seen before. But yeah, again, I'm trying to reconnect to the internet while I'm talking to you guys right here, right now, and I'm not too sure what's going on. This is, man, I feel really embarrassed. Wow, I feel ashamed. Okay, well, what I'm going to do now is we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get back to this episode once I have this solved. All right, well, I'll talk to you guys in just a short bit. Hey everyone, welcome back. You've probably just been here anyways, and it's just welcome back to me, I guess. So I had to restart my laptop and redo the whole test. Wow. And to the best of my memory, I believe I answered this, if anything, the same way as I did before. So hopefully everything's the same. Now, on to who I am. Who is this? Who am I? I don't know. This will dictate who I will become for the upcoming year, for 2021. And that person is going to be an INFJT, whatever that is. Let's get into it real quick, just very briefly. So, an INFJT is an advocate, and advocates are the rarest personality types of all. Not my word, it's the websites. Still, advocates leave their mark on the world. They have a deep sense of idealism and integrity, but they aren't idle dreamers. They take concrete steps to realize their goals and make a lasting impact. Yeah, some other stuff about advocates. They are unique. They are a unique combination of personality traits that make them complex and quite versatile. Okay, I guess I can see that that's who I am. I mean, to be honest, I don't really give two poops about this personality test, but it's interesting to learn about it. Just maybe, this is just who I am overall, and who I am at my core, and I'm just not, I guess, going to believe it, but I am an advocate, the rarest. That's the part I do like. That's one I will take in for all that it's worth. I am a rare personality type, so people out there, I am rare. Same thing with my, other INFJTs out there. You know who you are. So going on is my role as a diplomat. What? Okay. So my person is an advocate, and my role is a diplomat, who are diplomat personality types, which are advocates, mediators, protagonists, and campaigners. Care about helping and connecting with others. They prioritize being kind and generous, and in general, they rather cooperate than compete. Empathy seems to come naturally to these personality types. It can almost seem as if their hearts and minds resonate with other people's emotions. Yeah, I do believe this for myself. I think this has to go with also like a high emotional IQ. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, that makes sense. That is me. It is quite me. Now, for the last bit that explains who I am, and my core is, I guess, some of the main strategy I take or adopt in life, which is constant improvement. So constant improvers, according to this website, tends to be sensitive and introspective. They are often deep individuals who enjoy having their own space and freedom. In general, these personality types feel more comfortable on their own than mixed up in the judgment of the real world. Yeah, that's definitely me. That is definitely me. Okay. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. That's pretty much matching just who I am in general, and even some of my core values and just my morals and beliefs. So yeah, I mean, that does a good job. The only thing that I don't really know too much about or just really understand, I guess, I would just have to spend my own time reading into this more so, is the role of being an advocate, or whatever this is, my personality type, being an advocate. I just like that I'm a rare personality type. That's pretty much it. I'm a rare personality type. But yes, that's who I am. An INFJT. Someone who's a diplomat, an advocate, and someone who constantly seeks out constant improvement, as redundant as that sounded. But yes, that's who I am, and that's it. That's the whole episode. I just wanted to take this personality test because, like I said in the beginning, it just kind of shows how much you've changed, or it's just one means, right, to show how much you've changed over the past year, perhaps, or whenever you last took this test or last reflected on who you are, right? Who your core beliefs, what your core beliefs are, not who your core beliefs are. I'm not trying to personify them, but yeah. And I'm apologizing also if this episode didn't seem as thrilling or deep as you may have hoped it was or expected it to be. I've just been recovering from my marathon run. Like, honestly, that has affected me so much. Like, my motivation to do my other workouts and training just kind of plummeted because of the marathon training, because I've been having really bad sleep these days, and I've been focusing on doing other things regards to my career and academics. So yeah, I've been focusing on other things. So I just thought this might have been a fun episode to do, just something not as stressful, but also fun and hopefully insightful, just for you guys to get to know me better. And if you already know who I am, maybe you know me on a deeper level now. Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much again for listening till the end of this episode. And please support and follow this podcast on your favorite podcast platform like Spotify, Google Podcast, and even on YouTube. And please share this with your friends and family who may find this podcast enjoyable, entertaining, funny, or even insightful. And if you have any comments, questions, or topics that you'd like me to talk about, just go ahead, email me at dwellyntiger@gmail.com. And that's spelled DWELLYN tiger@gmail.com. DM me on Instagram at thejoeyll, which is spelled TheJoeyll, or send a text or voice message on the anchor.fm/dwellyntiger website. Go ahead, choose whichever messaging platform works out best for you. Thank you again so much for listening to this podcast, for this episode, and I'll talk to you guys again this upcoming New Year's Day with another episode of Morning Tea, where I'll be sharing what happened with me again, attending another virtual dating event, and even some other stuff that happened with me with dating. So I'll see you this Friday. Have a great, happy New Year's, and I hope everyone stays safe and well and is overall super happy. Thanks, and I'll see you till Friday.